What's going on, guys? Welcome to Get It Right Saturday night. This is our post-fight UFC 262 Oliveira versus Chandler. This was for all the marbles, you guys, and my goodness, what an exciting fight, though it just lasted 2 rounds. It was 19 seconds, I believe, into round number 2 when Charles Oliveira landed an absolutely delicious crispy 1, 2, 3, and when that 3 hit home, turned the tables on Michael Chandler in a fight where Michael Chandler was winning the first round, but you know, it was a good fight nonetheless. But that 1, 2, 3 from Charles Oliveira, man, clean, landed it, had Michael Chandler reeling, rocked him with it. Michael Chandler retreated, started running along the cage. Oliveira hunted him down, bang, hit him with a left hook, dropped him, hit him with a series of left hooks, and the referee had to come in and stop the fight. I mean, a beautiful, clinical TKO win for Charles Oliveira, who did have some trouble in the first round of this fight. Listen, Michael Chandler is like a little ball of energy, you guys. He's like this little bowling ball of fast twitch muscle, man. He could literally explode on anybody and just finish them. I really believe that. I mean, the guy's got big power. And, you know, he was able to hurt Oliveira bad in that first round. What surprised me, though, is despite the fact that Oliveira got hurt, somehow he was able to survive. I felt like Chandler was landing that right hand over and over and over again. I think the Oliveira just has a really sturdy chin, and as long as he saw the shot coming, he was okay. I feel like he got rocked in the beginning of the fight and, you know, kind of got dropped because he didn't see the shot coming. He wasn't ready for the power, but once he tasted it, he could see it coming. He figured it out, man. He got used to it. And this guy, I mean, Charles Oliveira, I mean, just an absolute beast on the ground. Scary with the stand-up. Very tall, very long for the division. You can tell, I mean, this guy's just genetically gifted, you know, technique for days, and just 31 years old, man. This guy might not even be in his prime yet, you guys. This guy is not even in his prime. So, you know, first rule of Get It Right Saturday night. I'm seeing some comments in the chat. We're going to get to them in a minute. You better be partaking in something. My drink is empty already, so you know it's a problem. But you better be partaking in something for us to sit down and talk about the fights. That's what we do here. And, yeah, that's the first rule of Get It Right Saturday night. Just, again, beautiful performance. Was it too early for Chandler? Only his second fight in the UFC. Maybe, maybe not. I thought he put up a hell of a fight. He could have literally finished the fight in the first round. It could have happened had Oliveira not been so dang tough, you guys. Very tough. And Chandler's explosiveness just absolutely ridiculous to be, you know, to have Oliveira having, you know, taken his back like that and to be able to bounce out of that like that. I mean, my goodness. But, you know, you can't put muscles on your chin. You can't put muscles on your chin. I think he just got caught with a clean 1, 2, 3. It was the 3 that landed and spelled the beginning of the end for him. You know, I think Chandler kind of throws a 1, 2. And, you know, now that I think about it in hindsight, it's something that he said in the embedded videos that sticks out to me right now because of this fight, what happened. And he says, look, I just have a few punches, but they work for me. Pretty much. He said something along those lines. And I think he just threw a 1, 2. And that was kind of his shortcoming, right? Had he maybe followed it up with a hook or, you know, ducked under or slipped, this might not have happened. 1, 2, 3 got cracked. It was a wrap. So I'm not going to knock Michael Chandler. Great performance. I do think we're going to see him back in there as a contender. I do think, you know, he's still got a shot to win the title. I mean, that was a great fight while it lasted. It was just, you know, what it was a shootout. And he had Oliveira bleeding in the first round. I mean, that's how bad he hit him. You know, he landed some vicious shots. It was a shootout, though, you guys. It was just a pure, that's why everybody loved this fight. It was only 2 rounds, but it was a shootout. And, Oliveira kind of drew, didn't draw first blood. That's what Chandler did, but drew last blood, ended the fight. We also, in the co-main event, we had Tony Ferguson and Beneil Dariush. And shout out to our brother Marco Martinez on the channel. As you can see, he's one of the people in the chat that administrates. Big shout out to him. And, he texted me after the fight, and I agree with what Marcos is saying, man. Basically, it seems like it's the end of the line for Tony Ferguson, you guys. Not saying he can't beat anybody, but, man, Beneil Dariush absolutely dominated Tony Ferguson, and I think it's a big win for Beneil Dariush. And it's a big win. I wanted to mention this. I don't always do this, but it's a big win for the Assyrian community. Beneil Dariush, I wasn't even aware of this till they started covering it on the countdown, that he's actually an Assyrian Christian. It's a very small community out there in the Middle East. So that's a big win for them, man. And a big win for Kings MMA. Believe it or not, guys, Kings MMA not only participates on almost all of the Fighters Rep cards, but Beneil Dariush actually comes to corner the guy, so big shout out to him. And Nolan Tickman, who was cornering Beneil, they both come to the Fighters Rep events. They send me fighters. I've had the pleasure of speaking with Nolan. I haven't had a real, sit down with Beneil yet, but I definitely want to do that, and I'm very happy for him. Even though the crowd booed him, which I thought was a little silly, but I can understand everybody loves Tony Ferguson. He's just such a character. Everybody loves him. I still love Tony Ferguson. I just think, I don't know if he's ever going to be at that level again. And listen, Beneil Dariush had him in a heel hook in that fight, said he heard something pop. And Tony Ferguson, grimacing in pain, fought through it. I mean, the guy is an absolute beast, man. So I'm always going to have nothing but the utmost respect for Tony Ferguson. I love the guy. I just think, it is definitely nearing the end of the line for him. The curtain is being drawn on Tony Ferguson's career. I'd like to see him go out with a win or a couple wins, but I don't know if he's a factor in that division any longer. So before I continue, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification icon next to it, smash that like button. If you hit that like button, that's going to help me big time with the YouTube algorithm, you guys. I'd really appreciate it. I appreciate your support. And, consider joining the channel. We got some big fights coming for you. It's just, 16 cents a day. That's $4.99 a month, $4.99 a month. You can help me continue to build the channel and the promotion. I'm getting content for you guys all the time. We will have our fights coming up, and you'll only be able to watch the fights live with a channel membership. Of course, we end up uploading all the fights eventually for free a couple weeks later, what have you. But, this is a way for you to help me support the fighters. This is a way for me, to be able to collect some money in order to pay the fighters and pay everybody else involved in putting our fights together, which is mighty expensive. And I come out of pocket because I want to help them out. And because I want to build the best kickboxing promotion in the world. And also, if you liked, speaking of kickboxing, if you liked that Barbosa versus Shane Burgos fight, you guys, if you liked Edson Barbosa versus Shane Burgos, man, you will absolutely love the Fighters Rep fights, because that was essentially a kickboxing fight. And that's what we do at Fighters Rep. And we get a lot of the same camps. Again, I mentioned Kings MMA, we get CMMA, and we get Saxon, and we get all these, really badass gyms that jump on. So shout out to George Estrada with the super chat, brother. He says Modelo time, fool. Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you, man. Listen, I might have to get some whiskey delivered upstairs real quick. Let me make that request real quick for whiskey upstairs. And so we can get, because your boy's on fumes right now. Your boy's on fumes. So, yeah, let's switch over to the chat, man. Let's hear what everybody's talking about, because, It's about the community. It's not about me. So that was a great fight while it lasted, says Hawker Mustang. I agree. It was a great fight while it lasted, man. What can I say, man? You know, when you get two guys, when you get Michael Chandler in there, right? He's such an explosive finisher. When you get Michael Chandler in there, man, you know, it's almost like it's almost automatically gonna be a firefight, man. The guy's just so damn explosive, and the only way to keep him off you is to hurt him. Is to hurt him and go after him as well. And I felt like, you know, that's what you're gonna get. You know, you want a recipe to a great fight? Put Michael Chandler in either the red corner or the blue corner. What's up, George? Says Dr. Joseph. Wow, wow, wow. Michael Chandler almost had him in the first. I agree. What's up, doctor? I appreciate you being in here, brother. I agree. I thought Chandler had him. I thought it was a wrap for a second there. But then, when I felt like the tide turned for me was when he had Oliveira on the floor, pressed up against the cage, and he was hitting him. And I saw Oliveira wasn't going anywhere. I said to myself, oh, man, this guy can take Chandler's power. Chandler's going to have to do something else here. And I really liked the way he fought him. You know, Oliveira just walked up right to the center of the ring, high guard. And cheers, by the way, whiskey delivered. So high guard, you know, coming right after him, throwing leg kicks, trying to, you know, keep him guessing. But man, that combo was clean. That combo he ended the fight with was clean, you guys. Clean. What up, George? Smash the like button, says our brother Marco Martinez. Dr. Joseph H. said that left hook changed everything. I agree, man. I agree. What's up, everyone? Says George Estrada. Who's drinking tonight? Ya tu sabe, George Estrada. It's not Modelo time for me, but if it's Modelo time for you, then it is Modelo time, fool. You know we're drinking, brother. That's a good one. UFC been putting on great matches, and boxing keeps shooting itself in the foot. Hawker Mustang, I couldn't agree more, man. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Krishna Kim in the building. That's my brother, Krishna Kim, man. You guys definitely check him out on the channel. Fantastic coach out of NHC. If you want to go learn how to throw those hands and those feet, hit up Coach Krishna Kim. Amazing guy. You can find him on Instagram. I think his name is Clamptastic. Also find him on Facebook, man. Harass him. Tell him to teach you some Muay Thai. We had Cambodian food, me and Coach Krishna, yesterday. It was awesome, man. I really appreciate that experience. Dr. Joseph says, if Oliveira beat Makhachev, Khabib might come back. I don't know, Dr. Joseph. I don't know, brother. Sounds like Khabib's real serious about his retirement, man. I heard Sean Porter say he wanted to fight Crawford, but that fight is not going to happen. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Crawford's going to do with his life, man. Nobody knows what Terrence Crawford is doing with his life. Nobody knows. I'd love to know. Let's see here. I was rooting for Michael Chandler, but damn, he was rushing at the beginning of round 2. Says Dr. Joseph, and he says, imagine Poirier versus Oliveira. Damn, dude. That would be a great fight. But, you know, Poirier still has to get by McGregor. And I'm excited to see if McGregor can do enough, can adjust to Dustin Poirier. You know, they're 1-1, man. It's time for the rubber match. Cheers to the rubber match. You know what that also has me thinking about, guys? This is a thought on rubber matches, especially with the UFC. You know, I feel like they're so different from boxing, right? In boxing, I feel like typically when there's a rematch, the same guy wins most of the time. Because as we know, boxing, you know, most of the fights are kind of a setup, unfortunately. You know, it's A side versus B side all the time. But with the UFC, man, I mean, You know, you think about Conor McGregor, first fight against Nate Diaz, loses, second fight wins. You know, you think about first fight against Poirier, he wins, second fight, Poirier knocks him out. You know, so it's just MMA is crazy, man. Real these combat sports that aren't boxing. I'm gonna say MMA and kickboxing because that's what I promote. You know, when you have a rematch, anything can happen. We even have an example of that. We have a very tough pair of kids, Santos Cias and Dennis Kovalev. They fought a couple times, and they've also gone 1-1. So, you know, it's like in sports that aren't boxing, where it's kind of, you know, predetermined who's going to win. It's amazing to see how different the results can be from fight to fight when the same two guys are fighting each other. Your boy Tony Ferguson is probably done. Well, you know what? If he's done, I'll drink to a fantastic career and a guy who definitely deserved a shot at the undisputed title, and a guy who was absolutely amazing and still tough as nails. All respect to Tony Ferguson. But I think you're right. I think he's probably done. Michael Chandler handled the loss good. I agree with that. Tony passed his prime 3 years ago, says Dr. Joseph. Listen, I might agree with that. Dr. Joseph says Dariush is high level on the ground for sure. And, you know, he's not too shabby on the feet either. He's at King's MMA. Telling you guys, they're sending me some young killers out of there. As a matter of fact, Christian Williams is out of there. He fought Anderson Silva's son, Gabe Silva, at our last event. And I thought he put up a pretty damn good fight before the fight was stopped. I think that kid has a really bright future. So shout out to Kings MMA. They're doing a lot of great stuff there, man. Dr. Joseph A says, finally someone like Do Bronx might draw Khabib back to the game. I don't think so, Dr. Joe. I don't think so, brother. Father Time is undefeated, says Hawker Mustang. You're right about that. Dr. Joseph A says, I hope Islam versus Do Bronx. Let's see from there. I think it's a good fight, but honestly, man, I don't know if Islam can beat Do Bronx at this point, man. I don't know. Islam's awesome. You said my mic volume is kind of low. Let me see what I can do here. Last man standing. Appreciate you, brother. It says mic volume is kind of low. Could you please turn on the volume? How about now? I turned it all the way up. Let me know if it's too loud, you guys. Let me know if it's too loud or if this is good or if I should turn it down, whatever. All right, let's see here. What else we got? Cheers, by the way, guys. Appreciate you guys being in here. All right. Dr. Joseph says, but I like more when Khabib is out of the game because it makes 155 pounds more exciting. I agree with that. Because Khabib is just a nightmare, man. Nobody's going to beat that guy. Tony versus Nate Diaz is next. Let me see. Tony versus Nate Diaz is next. Just for legend fight. I think that's a good idea, Dr. Joseph. I actually like that idea. Bruce Bobtrotter says, happy for Do Bronx, deserved it more. I couldn't agree more, brother. Kevin from Chicago says, Chandler fights with his hands at his waist. That is the problem right there, Kevin. That's why he got caught with that 3, brother. He got the 3-piece. Extra crispy, brother. Cheers. Cheers to all of Knucklehead Nation, man. I hope you guys join the channel. If not, I hope you guys have at least subscribed to the channel. What a fight. What a fight. What a card. What a crowd. You know, Texas, Florida. Listen, you can think whatever you want. Your goofy politics can be whatever they want. Texas and Florida did this shit right, man. Look, they're wide open. People are still getting money. They didn't kill a million businesses. You know, they saw the numbers were about the same, and they just opened it right up, man. We've been over here in California. We haven't been able to do a fight since February of 2020. They've made it completely impossible to do a fight here, man. They've ruined, I guarantee you, they've ruined so many careers. So many businesses have died. And that's why you see this exodus, man. Anybody that says the exodus is a lie. Just isn't reading the demographics. It's sad. It's sad what's happening here. But anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Don't promote alcohol. Be like Habib, the best are teetotalers, you know. I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know what you mean by that. I'm a bit surprised MC survived back taking position. I agree, Dr. Joseph. I agree, man. He exploded out of that thing. Bruce Bob Trotter says, Benil needs to shut up about politics, that's for sure. He's probably never read Marx in his life. Well, you know, I got to disagree with that. I mean, I'm sure he's from a part of the world where I'm from where, you know, that situation probably didn't really work out for him. Or, you know, I don't know. We'll leave it at that. We don't talk politics here. Kevin from Chicago. Chandler was talking about who he wants to fight after Charles, talking about Conor and stuff. Big mistake. Big mistake is right, Kevin. Hawker Mustang says, Sean Porter said he has to move on. I think Al Heyman had Porter, or told Porter he can't fight Crawford. Probably is what's going to, yeah, you know, Crawford might move up to 154 pounds, man. Always said the long-rangey fighters are the best. Hobbit musclehead like Chandler, gas quick. Hawker, yeah, but if he would have gotten that knockout in the first round, Kevin, we would be talking that shit right now. Hawker Mustang says Al Heyman locks these guys into slave contracts. He doesn't let his guys fight anyone, man. John Valencia, Crawford scared to fight Porter. Spence, that's why he's not 3 or 4 in my list. I feel you, John. I feel you, brother. Tony versus Cowboy in a retirement fight would be fun. Other than that, I don't want to watch them fight anyone else. I agree with that. John Valencia, he won't even fight Ortiz. He's all about easy wins. This is John Valencia is talking about Crawford, I think. Mike Colleen Conscious Power says White Walker won. Great win. Don't know what you mean by that. Northeast Beast says I had Oliveira. Had Tony Ferguson. Yeah, man, I felt like Dariush was going to win that fight just because I feel like Ferguson has definitely been on his way out. I don't think, listen, it's sad to say, Ferguson has not been the same since that loss to Justin Gaethje. He's not been the same guy. Mike Colleen says that's fine. When you lean forward, it came back. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, it's good. It's great now. I love your videos and commentary. Thank you, Last Man Standing. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. We're trying to build something special for you guys here, so I hope you guys stick around, man. I turned my speaker down so it's cool, says Zuckerberg. Tony Ferguson is all about that smoke. He really is, you know, and that's why everybody loves Tony Ferguson, you guys. Everybody. Let's see here. I think Charles can clean up the lightweight division and hopefully fight Habib if he comes back, says Last Man Standing. You guys, at this point, I don't think Habib's coming back, man. I don't think so. Father's plan, brother. Where do I get that hat? Says Ryan Q. Hey, man. This one's not for sale. You guys are going to have to get your own. Maybe one day I'll make a FightersRep Fez. But until that happens, this is mine. This is cultural. This is not going anywhere, brother. But you can get one on Amazon, I think. Last Man Sanders says, love Charles. He is such a complete fighter. Very complete. Very complete. John Valencia says, Texas brings quality boxers, too. I agree with that. I agree. He can box, kick, ground game. He doesn't rush. Great IQ. And he's only 31 years old. Hawker Mustang says, Joe Biden is a... Oh, my goodness. No politics, guys, please. Mike Colin says, Conscious Power, there's no traffic in California anymore. People are leaving, can drive fast on the freeway now. I love it. Mike Colin, have you seen how much it costs to get a UPS out of California versus bringing one in? It's crazy, you guys. It's crazy what they've done to this state, man. What these politics have done to this state. It's crazy. John Valencia says, Mike Rowland, dude, I'll be leaving soon. California became the armpit of America. LOL. Wow. Crawford and Canelo, says Northeast Beats. John Jones beats all heavyweights. Best ever. The GOAT. 10 likes, 16 people in here. Smash the like button. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, brother. John Valencia's laughing. Justin G's still here. It's nice. Listen, guys. Great fight by Charles Oliveira. You know, not a huge fight by any means, but, you know, we always got to go live on Saturday nights. That's what we do. This is Get It Right Saturday night. We have a drink. We talk about the fights that just happened. Not a huge fight this weekend, but a very good fight. A very good fight. Not Canelo Alvarez level, obviously, but a very good fight. Big shout out to Charles Oliveira. Big shout out to Brazil. Big shout out to all those people in the favelas. You know, he showed you guys you can come up and be something special. Yeah, I'm very happy for him about that. What's next for Charles? I would say the winner between McGregor and Poirier's got to be next for Charles. So that's interesting. Everybody pooping in the street in San Fran. Well, they're doing it down here in San Pedro too, brother. Kevin from Chicago says, guys like Chandler always have the conditioning question in the back of their head, which forces them to pull back in certain situations. That could be the case, but, you know, I didn't see him gassing. I just think he just got caught, man. His hands aren't as clean as Oliveira's, and he doesn't have the reach. And, you know, Oliveira's very slim guy, man, but he packs a punch. He packs a punch, man. Should Dana White fire Tony? 3 losses in a row can be risky for his brain. He's definitely going to have to, you know, think about it at this point, last man. I think he's going to have to think about it. It's sad to see him go like that. Brazil, I love Brazil, says Northeast Beast. What do you think about YouTubers getting these huge fights like Jake Paul fighting Floyd? You know, John, to be really honest with you, my problem, it's not too complicated. I'll explain to you my feelings on it. So far, I don't like it, right? And the reason I don't like it is because when you have these YouTubers on the platform, you know, not only does it cheapen the sport a little bit, but the reason you're putting them on is to draw attention to the sport, right? Now, I would be okay with these cards if they were putting upcoming young boxers on that are actually sacrificing and trying to make it in the sport, right? But they're not doing that. They're putting Chad Ochocinco on there. Oh, my God. And on the last card, we had, you know, and I talked about this on the channel, we had Quentin Randall. We interviewed him on this channel. He was on the card. He's got an amazing story. He's an upcoming fighter. He got out of prison, became #1 amateur. He's undefeated. He's like 8-0 now. You know, and he was on the undercard, so I was happy about that because I was like, well, at least somebody's thinking about these young upcoming fighters. They're going to, you know, leverage the shine from the YouTubers to shine light on these upcoming fighters that are actually trying to make it. And they ended up not airing his fight. I mean, they didn't even air it on you know, their goofy pay-per-view. So nobody's done it right yet. I don't like it. As you can see, it's very sociopathic. You know, these Paul brothers, especially this Jake Paul guy, in my opinion, he's very much a sociopath, the way he acts and carries himself, in my opinion. You know, I don't know if he has some sort of mental illness or what, but it seems like it because, like, you know, what he did with Floyd, snatching his hat off and all that stuff just to go and sell hats and get a tattoo of the gotcha hat and stuff. I mean, when money rules, I don't know, when personal gain means more to you than anything else, you're just not the kind of person for me. You know what I mean? If you don't have respect for others, if you don't have respect for you know, the integrity of the sport, I can't get on board with you. And boxing is already on such thin ice, right? You know, obviously you won't think so because The highest level boxers make a lot of money. But, you know, it's just, if you understand how the sport works and how they build up fighters by having them fight these kids from, you know, other countries and stuff and just beat the shit out of them so that they can get to a record of, you know, 10-0, 15-0, 20-0, and then they go pro, you know, and they fool us all into thinking that they're these beasts. You know, it's just the way they go about it, you know, it's just too much bad karma. It's too much bad karma. I mean, you bring a kid from the United States who's got talent, you take him, for example, I'm just giving you guys an example. You take him to the Dominican Republic, he beats the shit out of 10 kids that are trying to provide for their family. And, you know, and then you tell people, oh, this guy's a killer, he's 10-0. Yeah, but he fought, you know, 10 kids that were probably starving and just trying to get a payday, just trying to get it, you know, so it's just really embarrassing. It's not like, for example, the FightersRep, you know, shows, we put the amateurs on the undercard and the pros on the main card. That's, you know, the plan at the last event and going forward. And we're putting these amateurs in there with guys that can fight. I mean, if you're on our card, you've got a real chance of winning and a real chance of losing. It's an even fight. So I think that does more for the fighters. It does more for the fans. It's more believable than what they do in boxing. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. He got Copro, man. Michael Chandler shouldn't have rushed in, but the Bronx was putting a pace on him. I agree. Hawker Mustang says, stop ducking real guys like Manny and Canelo. Last man standing is Jamal Charlo the man to beat Canelo or at least put him in trouble? No, I don't think so. Boxing needs to change. Nobody's buying these padded records anymore. Jamal Charlo, he's a talented boxer, you guys, but let's not forget, the resume is nowhere near, Canelo's. He's got talent, but he's never even fought at 168 as far as I know. You know, so Canelo's been campaigning at 168. I mean, if the fight happens, Canelo sure as hell is not going to move down to 160 to go after Charlo. You got to come see Canelo. And I think if Charlo goes up to 168 right now and fights Canelo, he's in for a rude awakening. I mean, that's my opinion. I could be wrong. Listen, Charlo's a good fighter. You know, he's a good fighter. Boo Boo Andrade is a good fighter. But these guys are 160. I think Canelo's going to unify against Caleb Plant and probably go to 175, if I'm being honest with you guys. Really, I think he's going to go to 175. He's going to try to fight better BF and Bivol. I think he's going to be able to do it. Had you asked me, can he beat better BF and Bivol prior to the Billy Joe Saunders fight, I would have probably said, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. And prior to the Callum Smith fight, I'm not sure. But his performances in these last two fights, you guys, are just, they're just crazy. It's crazy. Canelo Alvarez is just crazy. He's insane, you guys, how good he is. So, you know, there you go. Boxing needs to change. Nobody's buying these padded records anymore, says Hawker Mustang. I agree. Last Man Standing says, who wins the next heavyweight boxing mega fight, Fury or AJ? I got Fury. I think it'd be a good fight, but I got Fury. I think he's just a technically better fighter. Northeast B says, everyone fighting Canelo should be like here. LOL. John Valencia says, AJ. Hawker Mustang says, do you think Billy Joe can win a strap again? I don't know, man. I don't know. To be honest with you, I said it the night of the fight. I predicted that he had broken his orbital bone. Turned out to be true. And the way he's broken it makes me question whether he's ever going to even be able to return to boxing. So, that's what I think. Knuckleheads, please like, comment, subscribe. Consider joining the channel. Anything you guys donate to the channel gets reinvested back into the channel. Anything you guys purchase in the link below also gets reinvested. We got shirts, hoodies, tank tops, masks. I appreciate you guys getting yours. They're awesome. You can see it right here. Got the FightersRep shirt. Also, be sure to follow us on Instagram and our sponsor on Instagram at Nueva Real Estate for all your California real estate needs. I look forward to hearing from you guys on this video if you didn't watch it live. Let me know what you guys think about Charles Oliveira's performance, man. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about it. I'm going to sign off now. We've been on for 35 minutes, but I will be putting out content for you guys in the upcoming days. You know, we put out something almost every single day, so appreciate you guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. Much appreciated.